Hey everyone, it's Heather from Buffering Saint. Welcome back to my channel. I should probably welcome myself back to my channel. It's because our little rosary business has been doing pretty well. So it's been keeping me busy and I haven't had time to make any YouTube videos. So I thought it would be cool to make a YouTube video while I make a rosary, kind of like as a get ready with me style slash laundry chat. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll get some questions, because I mean, I don't have like a ton of followers on Instagram, but I was like, maybe I'll get some questions if I say like I'm doing a Q&A type thing. So I did get some questions, so I'm gonna answer them, and they're basically all about my rosary business, so that's kind of cool. The first question is, how did the idea for Milk and Honey Rosaries come about? So the name of our business is Milk and Honey Rosaries and Saints. Pretty much, to shorten it, we go by Milk and Honey Rosaries. So like on Instagram, we're at Milk and Honey Rosaries. So basically how we came up with the idea is last Lent, I was like I started following a bunch of Catholic artisans on Instagram. A lot of them would do giveaways, and so I would tag a few people here and there in the giveaways, and one of the people I always tagged was my sister-in-law. So that's how I found a bunch of different Catholic artisans, and I was like, that is so cool that they are using like their gifts for God and making things, and they're all made different things. Like there's people who do woodworking, there's people who make rosaries, bracelets, painters. They all use their gifts for different things, and I thought that was so cool. And my sister-in-law was one of the people who I'd always tag in them, and she was like, she would say the same thing. Like she would text me and be like, that is so cool how all these Catholic women are making stuff for like with a Catholic theme. And I was like, I know, it's so awesome. I was like, I wish I could do something like that. And we would basically just go back and forth like that. And we would say like, yeah, that would be so cool to do something like that. Like theoretically, like what would we do if we ever did something like that? It was basically just like a thought in our minds, and then we like brainstormed. And she is a graphic designer and photographer, and she draws. So we decided on rosaries, and she really is into the essential oils. And she's like, what if we did lava rosaries or diffuser rosaries? And then we looked it up. We didn't really find a whole lot of people who are doing them. We did find a few people here and there, but it wasn't like a lot of people. So we thought that would be something that would help us to stand out a little bit. And so that's how we came up with the idea. And basically we've been kind of letting this stew since like we really got serious about it last June or July. I think we started practicing making the rosaries, and that is pretty much it. So I've been practicing making rosaries since then. I think we finalized our first rosary design around August or September. I sold a couple rosaries to my friends. Then we finally got our Etsy store open in January, on January 1st. Yeah, we got our store open, and on the second day we sold out. I mean, we didn't have a ton of like product or anything, but we weren't expecting to sell out within a day. We sold out of pretty much everything within a day. Then we basically didn't have anything in stock for a week and a half, but we still managed to do very well in our first month. And so it's like already our rosaries are in, I think, 9 different states, which is just crazy. Basically how that came about. We were just inspired by other small Catholic businesses, and we wanted to contribute to. The second question is, how did you get the idea for your business / what inspired the name? So I already kind of answered the first question. that first part of that question. So what inspired the name? I've always liked, like me personally, I've always liked milk and honey. The phrase milk and honey from the Bible, I've always just really liked that phrase. And we had tossed around some other names. I don't even remember what they are anymore, but we had tossed around some other names. And I think we had like basically finalized our name, and it wasn't Milk and Honey Rosaries, but I just remember like I kept being drawn towards that for some reason, and I texted her and I was like, what about Milk and Honey Rosaries? And like I looked for the links before I started filming this video, but I couldn't find them. But if I do find them, I will link them down below. But I found some people, theologians or somebody, comparing like the idea of the land flowing with milk and honey and the Virgin Mary. I thought it was so cool the way that they compare like how that land was going to sustain them and how Mary can do the same thing for us. And actually when I was Googling that today, I didn't know this, and I don't know if it's approved or anything like that, but I will post that link down below. But apparently there is possibly a miracle in India or somewhere like that where there is a Mary statue that is leaking oil and honey. So crazy. Do those have to get approved, those miracles where the statues start crying or anything like that, or is it just is? Because apparently there is a statue of Mary who seeps oil and honey. The third question is, where do you get your oils and how do you use them with your rosary? So like I said, Sarah is really into essential oils, probably more than I am. Like I just started getting into them, but honestly I just buy them from the store. But I did hear about this online store called Eden's Garden, who apparently makes pretty good ones, and they're not crazy outrageous, and they have different blends. When I was looking at them, they have different blends, which I think would be cool to use with the different mysteries. Like there was some for focus, and some I think would be cool to use at school too. Like there was some that said focus, there was some that called like something like uplift or joy or happy, and I was like, ooh, I could use that one for joyful mystery day, and I could use that one for sorrowful mystery day, and so fun and so forth. And I was thinking that would be cool, and that's Eden's Garden, but I haven't bought any from them yet, but I want to. But I know Sarah gets hers from Young Living. And the second part of that question was, how do you use them on the rosary? So all of the Hail Mary beads are just regular beads, but all of our Father beads are lava beads. And so the lava rock beads absorb the essential oils. This is my rosary. This is like our original design. They are honey and jade Hail Mary beads. That white one is the lava bead. That's the Our Father bead, and it's got bronze feeder beads. And we actually have a couple of variations of this design. This one is made with white cord. We don't have that option listed on Etsy. We have dark brown cord and light brown cord, and we can either choose the bronze beads or these yellow gold beads. Okay, yellow gold beads. They're really tiny. And so you can choose between either one of those. And we also have, we're almost out of these and I haven't really been able to find them, but I will have to look and see. But we also have these natural lava bead option in that same design instead of the white lava bead. So that is our original design. Oh yeah, I was going to show you how to use them. So basically what I do when I use them with essential oils is I basically just take my essential oils. I just do one drop because it seems to get me through. Like I can still smell my essential oils from yesterday. Basically just do one little drop and let it soak in. And I do that for each one, and then I basically just start praying. And I can smell it the whole time I'm praying, which is cool. I really like that. So that is how I use it. The fourth question is, how did you learn to make rosaries? YouTube videos. I had no idea how to make rosaries before. I mean, as I've said many times, I'm a Catholic convert. So I had no interest in praying the rosary when I was growing up. I thought it was sinful. So I don't even think I ever touched a rosary until I was Catholic. I don't think I did. And then I was so excited to get one. Like my first rosary, I was so excited to get one. Basically just watching YouTube videos. We did decide not to go the chain link route because a lot of people do them, and a lot of people do them really, really well. And so we didn't think that would get us a lot of attention. So we decided to go with the corded rosary option and still use the beads, because there are knotted rosaries that are just knots, and there are some corded rosaries with beads, but not as many, kind of like with the lava rock. So that's why we decided to cord it. And I really like the corded because, I mean, you guys just saw my rosary, but they're durable. I mean, I really like it. They're really durable, and I don't have to worry about it really getting twisty or twisted up, or the chain links breaking. And we're using hemp cord. I saw when I was at Walmart the other day buying my daughter like 100 day of school stuff, which by the time I finally went to the store, they were all out. Like all the fun stuff was out, so we basically just drew on her shirt. But they have something called bamboo cord. I have to look up how they harvest it, like if it's ethical and stuff, because the bamboo cord looked really nice. Okay, so my fifth question is, are you planning on coming out with other products or styles in the future? Yes, we are. This is actually not listed, but will be on Monday. We are going to have 5 rosaries like this. Monday, February 11th. It is the feast day of Our Lady of Lourdes, and we're going to have 5 of this design. So this design comes with these 6mm blue wooden beads, the 8mm white lava bead, the bronze beads for the feeder beads, and it's got I should have got a manicure before I did an up close video with my fingers. Sorry, I have hideous hands. Our Lady of Lourdes center, and then let me see if I can get it to focus on the back. The back has Our Lady of Lourdes with Saint Bernadette, the Lady. It's gonna come with this crucifix. So that is a new style we're gonna have on Monday, and it's also gonna come with a prayer card. So Sarah is designing a prayer card. She's already designed the prayer card to go with the Our Lady of Lourdes rosary. So like I said, there's only going to be 5 of them. So I mean, we might order more supplies if it seems like people like them, but so far we're only planning on having 5 of them. And we do also make little 1 decade pocket rosaries, and we have enough supplies for beads for like 3 pocket rosaries, but we don't have any more of the Our Lady of Lourdes centers. So the pocket rosaries are not going to have the Our Lady of Lourdes centers. They're going to be different centers, but if anybody likes the blue design, we're also gonna, the blue beads, we're gonna have that for the pocket rosaries too. And so the plan is Sarah's gonna make prayer cards, and she's also made a how to the pray the rosary prayer card that we should have listed pretty soon, and we're gonna have digital downloads so we're gonna sell them. The Our Lady of Lourdes Rosary is going to be sold with a prayer card, and we're going to have that other prayer card that I just mentioned, the How to Pray the Rosary prayer card. We're going to have it included, like you can buy a rosary with it or without it. And then we're going to have digital downloads, so we'll have any prayer cards that we make will also be available as digital downloads for people who like to print off their own stuff. And then next month, we're already planning a St. Patrick's rosary. So we're gonna start designing that probably next week. And then, I mean, our long-term plans are to have like a bunch of prayer cards, a bunch of rosary designs, possibly expand into like t-shirts or coffee mugs and stickers and a bunch of stuff, hopefully. But I mean, we're starting very small right now because we both work full time. I'm a mom, so we're starting very small, but we're very happy with the response so far. It's been really, really good. And I think something that's helped us with that is that we have started up our Instagram. We didn't like launch our Etsy store until January, but we started up our Instagram in like September, October, and we got quite a few followers before we even launched. So I think that definitely helped. The last question is, how do you find time for your business while juggling work, life, YouTube, hubby, and kids? Oh man, that question is so funny because I don't know the answer. I haven't posted a YouTube video since my Christmas book haul. So that was my last video, and I was supposed to I had every intention of joining the Popish Plot for their book club that they're doing with the defendant. I even had the notes written and everything for the first one. I think I even maybe started filming it, and I just did not have time. I like stuff like this, the rosary thing kind of did better than we expected, and I had to focus on that. So I'm not juggling that very well with YouTube because I haven't been posting very much. Basically, like a day in the life of Heather from Buffering Saint is wake up in the morning, take a shower, make sure any closed orders are ready to go in the mail before I leave for work, get my kids dressed, take my daughter to daycare. My husband takes my son to daycare. It kind of helps me in the morning, only getting the two kids, the two girls ready, and then he gets my son ready and takes him to school, and then I drop my daughter off at daycare. I drop off any of the orders in the mailbox, then I go to daycare, drop off my daughter, and then me and my oldest daughter go to school because she goes to the same school that I work at. And then I work all day, and then so basically if I have open orders, I come straight home and start working on the open orders, and then my husband will pick up the other two kids from daycare, and then they get home around 5:40, 5:45, and then I stop. I just stop what I'm doing and do evening stuff, dinner, dishes, load of laundry, that type of stuff. Usually we sit on the couch for a few minutes. We catch up on our day, how our day went. My daughter still nurses, so that's the first thing she wants to do when she sees me. And we go to bed and do it all over again the next day. So that's basically how I'm doing that. And if I don't have any orders, I'll go pick up the kids from daycare, because if I don't have any orders, then that's what I'll do. At the beginning of the liturgical year, I did the saint generator from Jennifer Fulwiler. It's a random saint generator. I do it every year. So like in the past I've had, and it's so cool, it's so fun. If you haven't done the random saint generator, I highly recommend it, because not only does it introduce you to new saints that maybe you've never heard of before, it just like allows you to make new saint friends. So like I think the first year I did it, I got Saint Honoritus, who is a patron saint of bakers, and he was alive like way back when, like I want to say in the 1st or 2nd century, and so he was very close to the time of Jesus. Last year I had Saint Thomas Aquinas, which he is a patron saint of educators and I think probably students, so I mean that was perfect because I'm a teacher. And this year I got, for my patron saints for this year, I got Saint Paul the Hermit, who basically lived in a cave. He owned nothing. He lived in a cave and prayed all day long. He wouldn't even leave his cave to go get food. He was so faithful to God because God says that he provides, right? So he didn't even go get food. A crow brought him bread every single day. So yeah, so my patron saint for this year ended up being Saint Paul the Hermit. And I also did the word of the year. That is another random saint generator developed by Jennifer Fulwiler. And the word that I got was present, like to be present. And so I thought that it was interesting that I got Saint Paul the Hermit, who lived a very, very prayerful life, and the word present. So it kind of did make me pause a little bit and like reassess my schedule, because I had been trying to do at least one video a week, but it was getting a little crazy. And because I work full-time, and now I also have this side business, this Rosary side business, and then on top of doing YouTube, which can take up a lot of time. So I kind of just had to think about that and assess, like, and pray, and like God was trying to tell me something, and maybe I still haven't learned it yet because I'm still trying to do a bunch of things. But I just thought that was interesting that I got those two things. So yeah, that is pretty much it for all the questions. I'm going to try to hurry up and finish this rosary and then show you what it looks like, and then we will go from there. Oh, I did forget to mention, my husband does help me make rosaries. He has been helping me make them, especially this last weekend. He's been helping me make them, so it's kind of cool because we kind of do it together. So I'm gonna have to put him on the payroll, I guess. He's really good at it. He works with glasses in real life, so he's used to working with like tiny things like beads and, well, like little baby screws and stuff like that. So he's really good at it. He's really good at forming the knots, and he even has more patience for it than I do. Like this knot, this bead right here, who's giving me troubles. He's gonna trade it out. Almost done. This is the hardest part. You know, I've heard I heard a quote from Saint Padre Pio once, where he was praying and somebody asked him, what are you praying for? Or like, who are you praying for? Like, what is the reason you're praying, basically? He was praying that his father would have a happy death. And in Catholicism, basically what that means is that you, not that you like are old and die in your sleep. That means that you hopefully will die in a state of grace. And the person said back to him, but your father died 30 years ago or something like that. And he said, Padre Pio responded and said that God is outside of time. So our prayers, I have to undo this now, it's so hard. Our prayers can be applied to basically wherever God wants to apply them. If we're praying and we're saying a rosary and Mary or Jesus is distributing the graces that are said from that prayer, they don't have to be distributed like here and now. They can be distributed in the future, they can be distributed in the past, because God is outside of time and he can distribute prayers however he pleases. I thought that was so cool. I was like, he prayed for his father's happy death after he died. And he trusted and he had the faith that God would apply those prayers in the past. Isn't that cool? I just thought that was so cool. I always think of that when I at my outro, where I've started saying like, pray for me. I'm like, it doesn't, when I think about that, I'm like, it doesn't even matter if they're watching an old video and they hear me say pray for me, because, and I will pray for you, because they could watch that video. They could watch a video, an old video that I made, and pray for me, and maybe those graces have already been applied to me in the past. Isn't that cool to think? I think that's so cool. I love Padre Pio. Saint Padre Pio. He's one of my favorite saints. I think he's like one of everyone's top list. Him and Saint John Paul II, Mother Teresa, they're like everyone's favorite saints. Pray for me. Your prayers can be applied to this moment, this exact moment. I think it worked. Your prayers worked for me. Yay! Thank you. So this is what the top part looks like. Now I'm gonna get started on attaching the crucifix. This is another really hard part, so send prayers again. Maybe I'll only have to do it once. I'm gonna have to do it again already. Maybe not. Let's see. Maybe not. Yay, I think we're good. I think we did it the first time. Awesome. Cut and cut. And we have a completed rosary. Look, guys. We did it. This rosary's done. This is the Our Lady of Lourdes Rosary, 1 of 5, going up to be listed on Monday, February 11th, feast day of Our Lady of Lourdes. So if you want one, I suggest hopping over to our Etsy store and buying one on Monday. Like I said, they're going to come with a prayer card too. So if you stuck around this whole time and watched me make a rosary and chatted with me, then thank you, because I'm sure this video will probably end up being longer than most of my videos. And let me know what kind of videos y'all want to see in the future, because I have ideas, I know videos that I want to make. It's just finding the time to make them. So maybe I can just do more videos like this. This was fun. It took a long time though, but that's okay. So thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who have supported our little business already. Everybody have a wonderful day, and pray for me and I will pray for you guys. It doesn't matter if you pray for me in the future. If you pray for me right here in this video, your graces will be applied to me today, which is so cool. I love that concept. So that's it. Have a good day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.